My name is Dr. Jennifer McGee. I'm a licensed professional counselor and I'm a counselor here at the Mind Spring Center. Social skills are the skills that enable us to interact with other people. So it helps us to form relationships. It helps us to get needs met. Social skills can include conversation skills. For the younger population, it can include emotional regulation, how to handle frustration, how to read body language, working with a group, how to interact with certain activities, compromising. Those are some examples. I think the importance of learning face-to-face interaction at an early age is because that's how we learn to get our needs met. As a cognitive behavioral therapist and one that primarily or has a specialty in working with individuals with learning disabilities, I interpret behavior as communication. So even positive behaviors, negative behaviors, I'm always looking at what is the child trying to communicate. If those kids do not learn how to get their needs met in an appropriate way, oftentimes they will learn how to get them met in an inappropriate way. One of the benefits that I see of a social skills group is building confidence, because they're using those skills in a group of same age peers. If they feel confident in using those skills here, they're more likely to generalize it in the community.
I'm Lindsay Riggs, and I'm a student at Georgia Southern Armstrong campus. Speech is more of the speech sounds you're making, so just sounds. And then language is just the symbols that you use to communicate. So like sign language, you don't need sounds for that. So they have their own language. And then communication, I think, is just like an umbrella term. Like speech is a form of communication, language is a form of communication. So we use speech to form language, and that's a part of communication. I've been at a few dinners where everybody is on their phone, so at that time I was one of those people, so it wasn't really that awkward because everybody was on their phones, but I've been trying not to use my phone as much as I usually do, so I've been in a place where everybody's on their phone and I'm just like, okay, so what are we doing? I think it does affect our communication because most of our communication is usually through person to person and speaking, and so devices, then we're not speaking to each other. And so some people, they're on their devices so much that they don't even know how to really communicate to people in person, and that's a problem. So I feel like if we just kind of gave ourselves a break from it for a little while, then we can really enjoy life, because you don't need to be on your phone all day.
My name is Jerome Rouse. I'm the school counselor. I think just strictly grammar communication skills are lacking because there's so many tech-savvy words that kids are used to using, so they end up using them in a sentence or in an email or a regular text message that the person in my era wouldn't understand or doesn't know what that word. You can easily lose a student because they're more focused on the cell phone and what's in front of them more than what's on the board or what the teacher's talking about or what we as school counselors have to talk about. So I kind of make sure that my students, whoever comes to for guidance, I make sure that everything is put away so we can have a true conversation, so I can kind of really understand what's really going on. Sometimes they can use that cell phone as a cover-up or a mask for them to not actually have to talk about or deal with.
My name is Angel. I'm a behavior analysis major. Over the internet, you're seen more often. You're really just trying to be seen over the internet, and then when in person, most people don't really speak, don't say nothing, don't care to put their input on anything. They can walk past you like they don't know you, but on the internet you could comment on everything you want because it's not in person. They feel more comfortable because nobody's there to confront them head on, face-to-face confrontation. Going out to eat with a group of friends instead of, you know, communicating, talking amongst each other. We're all on our phone, all into social media, catching up with the latest tea and the latest drama. Social media is the devil. Like, you can find yourself into so much stuff that you don't really have to be in if it wasn't for social media. So it's good to take a break from social media.
My name is Pamela Bell Williams. I'm the special education chair at Glen Hills Middle School. I was growing up, we had beepers, the rotary phone, and that's about all. We did have cell phones, but it was those big old clunky things in the bag. Now you have all different kinds of cell phones, Androids, iPhones, so computers. So it's changed a lot. The older generation knew how to sit down and talk and have a conversation and have fun. Younger generation, they like to jive, but they do it when they're under communication. It's okay because they don't see that other person. But sitting across from a person, they don't know how to communicate because nobody has ever taught them how to do that because there's so much technology.
Ivor Johnson, 6th grade ELA teacher. We actually have four-way communications. By this being the English language arts, we have communication with speaking and listening, reading and writing. So it's 4 ways we communicate. We have what we call accountable talk, whereas one person talk at a time, and if you have something to say, you do accountable talk, such as I hear what you're saying, but could you clarify this particular point, or I agree with what you're saying, or to piggyback on what you're saying, or to add on what you're saying. Their writing is awful. I mean, writing, somewhere down the line, they lost the writing skills. Punctuations, grammar. One little fella, I had to pick up his paper 2 or 3 times. I marked everything wrong and I felt bad. I said, let me go back and review it. When I went back, I put it back down 2 or 3 times, and then finally I had to sit there, and it was almost, he was writing in codes. I had to decipher each letter or each word to actually determine. And then once I decipher everything, he actually got some of the stuff right. So their grammar, their writing is just off.